States of America.
Because you were a bad citizen. Because you didn't do your duty to who? Who do you have a duty to? You have a duty to you and your family. The only thing you owe me is not to trample on my rights. And the only thing I owe you is not to trample on yours. That's our only responsibility as free people, is not to trample on somebody else's rights. Okay? My dad told me all the time when I was growing up, he says, you're free to swing your fist, but your freedom stops at the end of my nose. Okay? You can swing it all day long, but don't infringe on my rights. And that is how America is supposed to be working. Okay? It's all well and good to say, well, you know, there's some poor folks out there who, you know, some of our tax dollars, we should help these people. Well, you know what? I'll say like Benjamin Franklin said, like my friend Randy reminded me the other night. And Benjamin Franklin said, I'm for doing good for the poor, but I differ in the way in which I want to do it. You're not to make them comfortable in their poverty. You're to make them uneasy in their poverty and lead them or drive them out of it. Okay? Charity is supposed to come from the heart, from the individual, of their own volition. You can't force somebody to be charitable. Okay? People look at their taxes that they pay. Actually, I think they don't even look at them in many cases. They don't recognize them. And that's set up that way. They take the money out of your paycheck before you get it, so you don't recognize what you're losing. Okay? If you had to pay, if you got your paycheck every week and you had to step up to the counter and you had to pull out $300, $400, $500 and plop it down on the counter, how many people do you think would have an issue with taxes? Okay? Here's a guy. Now, I don't care how many levels of law that you hide behind. When you tax somebody unjustly, and when I say unjustly, what I mean is anything that's not constitutionally mandated to be supported by taxes of a constitutional type of tax, not this illegal income tax that we have. If it's an unjust tax, it's theft. It is a theft of a part of your life. Okay? When you go to work every day, you're giving a part of your life.
John, what day is it that we work from January 1st until?
That's been changing. I can't even. I think it's somewhere up into May now, isn't it?
Between 4 to 6 months now.
4 to 6 months of our lives out of every year go to just paying taxes alone.
Now the thing is, you got to understand, okay? You can say, well, it's taxes, we got to pay them. Well, listen, I don't care. Like I said, I don't care how many levels of law you hide behind. It's theft, all right? Somebody comes into your pocket and takes something, it's theft. If I said to you, well, we're going to charge you an extra couple of dollars in tax this week. It's only $2. You're not going to miss it, right? It's only $2. Well, what happens if now the government says, well, guess what? Next Tuesday, Brian can go into your house and he can take a gallon of milk out of your fridge. Anytime between the hours of 2 and 4. Can't do anything about it. You going to be happy about that? If somebody walks right into your house, walks into your fridge, takes your gallon of milk, it's only $2, right? $3, whatever. I don't know what a gallon of milk is nowadays. Right? $4? Oh, it's less than a fin, right? Hey, guess what? Somebody walks into my house unannounced and they try and take something, they're going to be going out feet first, all right?
What if somebody
That's
broke
theft.
John, what if somebody broke into your house and stole $4?
I don't care what it is. You don't come into my house, it's my castle, all right? Every one of us in here is supposed to be a sovereign individual. Okay? And we live in a sovereign nation. We don't have a king. We're each our own king. That's the way it's supposed to be.
Government's too big. We don't mind paying taxes, but not too much. And government's just supposed to be protecting our
Exactly.
rights. Our borders, our sovereignty, and our rights.
Everybody agrees some amount of taxes have to be paid. If you want some kind of a defense for the nation, if you want some kind of roads, etc., there are certain things that have to be done. We agree to that. But there comes a point where people have to say, enough is enough. You're going to draw a line in the sand, and you're going to say, that's enough. You've taken enough of my liberties, and I'm done with it. All right? Now, one little thing before I shut up here. I brought this little card with me tonight. Something I came across. I'm going to leave you with. Something I came across a couple of years ago when I was thumbing through one of my son's Civil Air Patrol cadet leadership book. This is a little piece. It's called My Creed by a gentleman by the name of Dean Alphonse. He's what's known as a classical liberal. Okay? That is 180 degrees different than what you think of a normal, modern liberal, what that word connotates. It's different, okay? The language has been usurped. We can get into that. That's a whole other topic. Classic liberal. This is what he had to say. He said, I do not choose to be a common man. It is my right to be uncommon. I seek opportunity to develop whatever talents God gave me, not security. I do not wish to be a kept citizen, humbled and dulled by having the state look after me. I want to take the calculated risk to dream and to build, to fail and to succeed. I refuse to barter incentive for a dole. I prefer the challenges of life to the guaranteed existence, the thrill of fulfillment to the stale calm of utopia. I will not trade freedom for beneficence, nor my dignity for a handout. I will never cower before any earthly master, nor bend to any threat. It is my heritage to stand erect, proud, and unafraid, to think and act myself, and enjoy the benefit of my creation, and face the world boldly and say, this, with God's help, I have done. All this is what it means to be an American.
This concludes this program broadcast. We the People, a freedom of speech television show. Go to www.wethepeopleofri.org.